At their own 17-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. Screen. Watch the screen. Go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The outlaw.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. I'm coming.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a jet shaken up on the play. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
We got three, fellas, we got three. Now.
On 3rd down, it's Stick. Caught here by Griffin. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
And this is Parker, complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Devontae Parker, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
From the 24, Stick.
I got you, boy.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Here's the Jets punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here comes Grant on the return. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
Here we go. 180.
Watch the pass. Check.
On first down, it's Harris. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
From the 38, Garoppolo. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one good for 26 and a first down.
13.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devontae Parker with his second touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
You ain't going nowhere.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Escaping the pressure right. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. 180.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Grant. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Here we go. 180.
Switch.
Black.
57 to Mike.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for. Now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, this is Cannon. And an alley to run. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Trenton Cannon, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They did nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
11. 57. Hey, echo.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Man open, that's Byron Pringle complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Here we go. Hey, gun.
57's Mike 57.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 24.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Let's get in that hole.
They'll throw on 2nd down his stick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Wilkins gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Here's Stick, 3rd and long. That's complete to Trenton Cannon, the running back. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time, and it'll be Dolphin football.
At their own 22-yard line.
Here we go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
2nd and 5 now. Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
They
come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass.
13.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Move. Hey, zoom.
On 2nd and 10, it's Stick. He's got a first down or more past the 30. And he's going to get this all the way up to the 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. That one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Stick looks to throw it again. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. 1st and 10, Stick. He's going to look deep for more. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here we go, here we go,
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Garoppolo to throw. He'll buy some time right. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
Here we go.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Balaj. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
I got you. Hey, alert! 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 Smooth!
Here we go here.
Dan!
50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds to Mike.
Say hot!
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open, otherwise just don't do it.
They'll start on the ground with Cannon. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. From the 44, Stick. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off Byron Jones. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Eluding the pressure right. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. They run it with Balaj. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16.
21.
To throw is Garoppolo. Flushed out right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Garoppolo on the keeper. Incomplete on the throwaway. It's 4th down.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over this one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Stick. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. The Jets on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hey, lock it. Now.
A shotgun throw for Stick. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And now here is another interception. Picked off by John Johnson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
I got you. 21.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10.
12. Check 99. Hey, gun. You got Dick.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo on the move, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12.
White.
57 to Mike.
Bravo.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. Escaping the pressure right. He finds Kalen Ballage, his running back. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where
the Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Kyle Van Noy in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continue to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The Jets on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Here's Stick looking to throw. He's going to look deep for more. He's got a man. Complete. An explosive 38-yard pickup.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Here's Stick on 1st and 10. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Stick to throw once more. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back?
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Kyle Van Noy racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. Stick looks to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Garoppolo looking to throw. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Maximum effort, partner. Minimal gain.
Yeah, minimal gain. Looked good, though. They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9.
I got you. 57.
Garoppolo looks to throw. They'll set up the screen to Balazs. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Hey, gun.
Mike's 57, come on.
Clock.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. And it's caught by Parker. And all the way down to the 26. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Garoppolo again. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. This one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
The PAT good. It would draw them closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field. Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Now Balazs. And a gain of 4 gets them right to the midfield stripe. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game.
Here we go. 180. Come on, let's go.
The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Here we go. Select 80.
Hey, here we go. Switch.
They'll run here with Balazs. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Balazs. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one good for 33 and a first. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's